Big smiles, doofy makeup, doofy fast 5-minute emo girl makeup, I guess. Anyways, thank you all so much for being here for the final episode of Eliza. We have quite a few chapters to go through. We have to do chapter 4, 5, and 6. Hopefully 5 and 6 are shorter. I mean, it doesn't matter. I intend to play the game till completion tonight. That way, coming Monday, we can start the new game. Hello. Yes. Continue. But I hope y'all are having a happy Saturday. Oh, I love the artwork in this game. It's such a nice day. When did it get so warm? I thought it was still winter. There's a breeze over the water making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out here, walking along the waterfront. There's a common peace and contentedness. Lucky. I actually went on a walk earlier today, and it was really nice because it had been some time since I last went on, like, a relaxing stroll. I feel like this is off. Now I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. I know I was having problems at one point, but that was so long ago. When was that? I can't remember. This moment in time seems to stretch indefinitely. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging, perfect. The surface of that lake is such a brilliant blue. A blue I could lose myself in. Forever blue.
Well, what do you think?
Why are we at Soren's house again?
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place. But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Remarkable technology, isn't it?
Why do I feel so lost? I know it's been a while since we've last played this game.
I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful.
Soren retrieves a bottle of whiskey from a liquor cabinet and serves himself.
Here's a thought experiment for you. Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy.
No.
Would you get it? You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count somehow. What a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately.
That's you.
I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but it is kind of a part of life. I feel like if you're always happy, it'll just be boring. Like, you need to be sad to enjoy the times that you're happy. But I guess that's just my opinion. I definitely wouldn't want a surgical procedure that would make me naturally happy all the time. His voice is getting so ragged. How many drinks did he have before I came here?
Oh, forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
Why is that such an old man's drink? An old rich man's drink. It's always scotch. No!
Sure.
I meant to say no! Ah! No!
The Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff.
I did a bad thing.
Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh? If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I?
Soren is such an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic creep. Why am I at Soren's house?
I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before.
That sounds so scary, though. Like, induced dreaming sounds like a drug in itself.
There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of, obsolete. And to think Raynor wanted nothing to do with this.
He thought it was a bad idea.
Raynor's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important.
Because they are.
He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness? He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy. All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them.
Because it is dystopian.
It's better if a small startup takes the fall, if public opinion turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing.
Oh my god.
Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though. If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Raynor wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
I mean, that's a businessman move, and that's fair. Like, I get it. But the idea of everyone being happy all the time is still like a big no-no. Ultimately, that's a big no-no.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Doesn't matter. Soren, you're crazy.
It's quite the accusation, I know.
Raynor. Soren is crazy.
Not
Raynor's
something
cool.
I'd come out and say in public. Not yet, anyway.
No.
But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system. Excuse me for 1 second.
Soren hurries out of the room for some reason, leaving me with questions echoing in my head. Would I want my suffering removed completely? Is it better to leave it alone? It's time to go home. Oh! Yes. Hey, do you think I could ask about Damien? Sure. What do you want to know about him? Like, what kind of person he was? Like, what kind of person was he? I read stuff backwards all the time. He was a brilliant software tech engineer, one of the most sincere people I've ever met. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. Oh, I think Evelyn was in love. Our digital therapy program wasn't a mandate from management. We started it ourselves. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care he needed. That's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. I see. Thank you. This is going to sound weird, but sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. I never met him in real life, but It's like I sense his presence there, like he encoded himself into the system in some way. Haha, I know it must be my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. Aww. Can I go home? Do I have to hang out with Soren? Soren likes his style of decor. I forgot what it was called. It's modern from around the middle of the century. That's a term for that, isn't there? Seems restrained for him. Maybe he's cut back. Reminds me of art in the counseling room. Knowing Soren, this is probably by some famous artist and it cost him a fortune. Conversations we've had in the past. Nothing new. What does a filled life look like? Soren comes back to the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
No.
I'm not sure that I do. You don't think it's dangerous? You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing.
And your point, buddy?
I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity.
This dude.
What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren?
You're bullcrap, Soren.
What did you tell Damien?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights. Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work.
Start. Hello, everyone.
That was the reality. Without a product, we'd be nothing.
I'm trying to understand how this links back to Damien.
A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it. None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture.
That, big corporations. Yeah, work yourself to death. Oh yeah, sure, pull all-nighters multiple times a week because we want to accomplish a project. If that ain't big corporate attitude, I don't know what is.
There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what
Still not
happened
saying
to
if he
Damien.
died of a heart attack or if it was suicide. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back. Nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism.
Pulmonary embolism?
And now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time. But you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink. So I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn. I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic. But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway.
I wonder why.
I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I pursued this technology. That's why I wanted to exist. The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
What's wrong with him? I'm at a loss for words. How do you respond to something like that?
Soren, are you okay?
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Rainer, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that.
What is happening?
So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
My family is so loud. Like, I hope y'all don't hear all those massive banging footsteps.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Oh, I can't. Somehow that conversation ended up being very draining. I mean, yeah, absolutely. The promise of that new technology really all that keeps him going. Hey, back on the train. It's the same girl from last time. Security. He's watching something and smiling to himself. The phone tips in his hand, allowing me to glimpse over the screen. It's a cat video. I love that. I think I've seen this person before. He must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. All good things. Well, everyone, today's my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's the end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see just how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling, to say the least. I'll miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember the insane blackberry brambles around campus that people get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Raj had to host all of our internal docs from his garage? The time we tried to roll out the big Polaris update right as the worst windstorm in a decade hit? Hold Skanda hands. Also know how to mass email everyone at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. Who the heck is Mark? I don't remember Mark. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there were times of friction, times when it seemed to me what the very clear, obvious, correct path was not as apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and a candor in my interactions and thought everyone else here did too. But as I grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entirely different communication style than I'm used to. In regards to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I presented my views. For those of you asking where I'm headed to next, the answer is nowhere yet. I'm going to spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there now, with new challenges and new horizons. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks in time. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm so proud to have served alongside you. Elixir. Mark. Well, goodbye, Mark. What is this? Oh. There's no need to rush. How are we doing? At Skanda, we continually strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, we periodically survey this group in order to better understand how we can further enhance the Skanda experience. We are interested in your feedback regarding your experience as a contractor for Skanda in the contact proxy position. If you wish to participate in the survey, simply reply to this message. That's nothing interesting. Time to get to work. Oh no. I wonder if I'm gonna see someone I saw last time. Harriman.
Hello, Harriman.
Yes, we can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that. What brings you here today? It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I slept with Sylvia.
The music.
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here. A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked, and then everything just happened. Like a train, following tracks laid out for it years ago.
Ooh, squad. Hi, Jordan. What emote is that? That's cute. Limited time only emote 2020 party. Oh, hey, nice.
Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen? And also, why did it happen? I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person? I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what. It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before. I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do? What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes.
Let's talk to our buddy.
I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem. Is that too stuffy? I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble. Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what our status is right now. There's another problem, too. Another really big problem.
Just talk.
How do
Jeez.
I tell Liz? Wait. Of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her. Did I mention this last time? I have a sort of girlfriend. Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. And I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment.
Wait, the last time this guy sat in the chair, he was talking about Sylvia and how much he was obsessing over her. And how he, like, pictured marrying her and crap. And now he's telling me he has a girlfriend. Buddy.
Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Buddy. A girlfriend. What are you doing?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and... I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz. I'm not sure that's possible, though, right? I can't believe this.
Not
I got what I
really.
wanted and it ruined my life. What do I tell Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this. I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her. You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind. My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it.
But you.
Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now.
What was going on with. I feel him, but not on the cheating part. I gotta understand, like, what was going on with him and Liz. He says sort of girlfriend. So why is he distancing himself from the title of Liz being his actual girlfriend? Also, whenever I start streaming, this part of my nose gets super itchy, and I just...
So much pain.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate?
Yeah, you're
Am
a
I going to
cliche.
become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl?
Probably.
You have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything.
I thought Sylvia was his main target of affection, but I guess he was just bored with life, and now that he got what he wanted, he's regretting all of his choices.
If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this. It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon, even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below. Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again. Oh, sweet, dark death.
Harmon, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Don't like him.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
I just want more details. That's just me being nosy, I guess.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood, a state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program. Wiser than you know. I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
So dramatic. So dramatic. I can't.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Jesus.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harmon. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
I know I'm supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to people about the clients that come through here. Evelyn, hey. Leave me alone, Soren. Just close the next round of funding. Asia Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. He needs couples counseling and come clean and tell her his thought process. Yeah, he definitely should. Just keeping you in the loop. All of the projects I've worked on. I have a strong feeling about this one. That it's going to go far. Really make a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Rainer? Leave me alone, sorry. He wants you to quantify everything. I'll never understand there are some things you can reduce to a number. You can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? A 5 out of what? See, it's ridiculous. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich complex information. So many ways to study it. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensations, notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you there? No, I stopped paying attention a while ago. Why sorry? I don't know why I'm yawning so much. That feels so rude. It's a little lonely. His experience as a grad student is nothing like the one I had. He doesn't even have time for all that stuff. To be banging ladies? Who knows? Maybe ask about having an open relationship or try new things in the relationship. Yeah. Time for our next client. My miso soup is gonna get chilly. Sadness. Maya.
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do. Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that or...
Why don't we get started?
Sure. So, I feel worse than before.
Maya, no.
Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and, it was nice. But when I got back to the real world, everything was the same. I don't know why you people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better. Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and
You need a better friend group.
all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it. I guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers.
Same girl.
I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things and I never get traction. And I have things to say. I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops.
Tell her to try drugs and sad music. That'll do the trick. Oh my god.
And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a curse from mythology.
Oh, honey. I get how she feels though. Like investing time into networking and advertising your content. Whether you're an artist or a content creator, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And to get no recognition, it kind of sucks. Like things like streaming on YouTube and stuff, it's definitely a hobby. You know, can't be unrealistic and just assume you're gonna get rich and famous. It doesn't work like that. But to not have any recognition at all and to put a lot of time and effort into a project, it is kind of sad.
And meanwhile, these other people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful, fulfilling artistic careers. And I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult. It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself, even though I know it's ruining things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care. But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic shit. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it. I feel like people pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids.
She needs more discords.
And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. I'm the competitive bitch. I'm the bitter failure. Which I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. It's such an ugly part.
Oh my.
But it's there. It's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
You know, I don't know. In the past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that. Forget about trying to do this thing.
No. Don't quit. Never quit.
I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of the idea of art.
She just sounds really burnt out. Like super burnt out. She needs a vacation.
I'm sick of my own art, which nobody likes. Not even myself.
That's a mood.
Something has to change. Something drastic has to happen to change things around. Oh, that reminds me. I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
Okay, Maya. It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode. Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
Thank you for asking about transparency mode. Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for Eliza. It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better. To participate, you must grant me access to certain personal data.
That's how I feel about my stuff. That's why I don't like things, especially what comes from me. Oh, but you're good. Good artist. My forehead looks so big. I hate looking at my own forehead.
This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories. Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
Some guy at the bar was yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something. But what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it. God, I feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
And forehead's good for forehead kisses. Yeah, I guess there's that.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
I did not understand your response.
I would like to participate in transparency mode.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency mode.
Cool. Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions? Like the lady sitting in the chair across from me. I envy you. I honestly do.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal.
Oh my god, so dismissive.
Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I closely study, every software user agreement I get. That's a joke. I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
She's always intense, but I like Maya. Huh.
Bye.
Poor Bean.
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive. It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers. Usually, transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies, since there's a lot of trust required there. But you were given access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
Or maybe Eliza just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
I never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane. People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy, well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary. We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people can go in aware of the choices they're making.
I didn't mean to question your handling of it.
Sorry, I might be a little defensive. There are a lot of people who want to see us fail, for whatever reason. Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other way. Anyway, you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something. You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it. You can start it whenever you're ready.
Sure.
Dear Evelyn Ishino Aubrey, congratulations, you've been selected to contribute additional information to Eliza's learning corpus with access to a special feature called Transparency Mode. You will be presented with a snapshot of client's personal communications, review these communications, and determine the client's mental state. Eliza will also create a model of the client's mental state. Eliza will ask a few questions designed to check its model against your understanding of the client. How do I know I'm doing a good job at transparency mode? Carefully consider the material provided to you and sincerely answer the questions created by Eliza's model. Your input is valuable whether it agrees or disagrees with Eliza. What privacy rules and regulations apply to the information I see in transparency mode? Skanda takes personal privacy very seriously. As a proxy, you have already agreed to a strong non-disclosure and other agreements to protect our customers' privacy. These agreements and protections also apply to information presented in transparency mode. Interesting. Does Skanda have the right to show me and other citizens' private communications? Yes. Participating clients have signed waivers giving us permission to retrieve the information to better assist them as part of ongoing research. That's so weird. It's so gray out there. So she really gave us permission to look at her messages. I feel like just a few years ago, even the idea of something like this would have been controversial, but she was fine with it, she wanted it. No, I look at the window already. Compare this to the water that was at the conference room in Skanda headquarters. Funny that there's an appropriate level of fanciness for everything. I'm sure Nora would have something to say about that. Jesus. Transparency mode. Oh. Whoa. Did you throw up? Gallery. Hi there, Unicorn Girl. I'm an artist too. What kind of art do you do? I'm apparently mixed media. Mummies and clay, plastic, messed up looking creatures from your nightmares or hell, haha. What are you into? So she's on a dating website. Thank you for submission to the Spencer Gallery. Oh, unfortunately, I feel your work is not right for our showcase, but we appreciate you taking the time to share it with us. Hi Maya, I wanted to say thank you for taking the time to pitch to us. Your treatment was engaging and thoughtful. This was a difficult decision for us, but ultimately, we'll not be moving forward with your project. Please stay in touch to keep us posted on what you're up to. It's always possible that we might work together in the future. Oh, she's putting herself out there. Comics editor. Oh. Oh. I want to see her art. Video, what's it? Is that for video? I don't understand the developers in any of these apps. Hey Garrett. Oh my god, nobody gives a frick. Please stop, I hate it when you're like this. I'm just saying true things. Don't tell me to pretend everything's great. Nobody gives a crap, it's just a fact. I don't know how to help you when you're like this. I know nobody can. Have you thought about getting therapy? I am in therapy. Okay, sorry. I'm in therapy. I'm on medication. I did some VR thing where I stood in a forest by a creek. How does any of this make people care about my work? It doesn't change an effing thing. Okay, look. Sorry you're going through a tough time. I hate this. I'm sorry. You aren't helping. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what how I'm supposed to help you, Maya. Did you see the no Forsberg thing? Yeah, I think he kind of sucks. LMO. He does. Lamau. It was boring and self-absorbed, didn't do much for me. Was he a thing? Why does everyone love him? Right place at the right time, maybe. His friends run that press. He's on a podcast with them. One thing he's good at is having this image of being a genius, so I think people just assume he is one. He's so mediocre, though. Seriously, don't understand it. I sink now into the space of forever. Like, what kind of crap is that? Seriously, it's so bad. Haha. Oh, and he socializes and gets out a lot, I think. He's like at every party at least that I've seen. He's always there chatting people up. Well, F that. Why is the world this way? It's the world. I hate it. I remember being so glad to be over with high school. I didn't realize that all of the adult life is just high school over and over again. It is, though. Adult life is high school over and over again. It's all about the people you know and the people you're connected to. Drinks always. Oh. A rideshare app. Okay. And I looked at everything, so now what? Maya overall is unhappy. Maya's attempting to become well known. Maya's efforts of becoming well known are unsuccessful. Yeah? Oh. I don't know if I like learning this much about someone I don't know. Makes me feel weird for some reason. I mean, I would feel weird. Hey, can I meet up with you again? Like for coffee, maybe? Sure. No. Something at work. It's not a big deal, honestly. But I wanted your opinion on it. And I don't want to text about it. Uh-oh.
Thanks for meeting up with me on kind of short notice.
Koma Revi, always here, always at this cafe. I think this is a favorite place of Evelyn's, probably.
I didn't mean to worry you, it's just something I wanted to talk about.
It's fine. What happened?
Well, what happened was... Where should I start? First of all, Raynor wants Eliza to be more than something that's used just for therapy.
Uh-oh. Raynor and Soren are both kind of scuzzy, to be fair.
He sees it as more of a general system for talking to people, like a personal assistant. The counseling is just one of a whole range of apps he has in mind for the future.
So I've heard.
Okay, so in service of developing these things, Raynor wants us to make copies of Eliza's core data and hand it off to multiple teams around the world. Some of them not even Skanda teams. Contractors, vendors, random partners.
That sounds troublesome.
Sounds like a big file to move around.
It is, but that's not the problem.
What's the problem?
Well, so we're fine with sharing Eliza with whoever wants it? Anyone just gets access to the corpus?
Sounds like a pretty typical process. That's how big companies work, isn't it?
I know, but it just feels wrong to let all these teams poke and prod at it like it's a specimen for them to dissect. Who knows what they'll do with it? Eliza is built from people's real thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't say it has humanity, but it was built from humanity. There's something there. So when Raynor talks about it like we'll just duplicate this data set and have the labs do whatever it is they're going to do, how do we know they'll treat it with the respect it deserves and not just pry it open? Slice it up into little pieces. It bothers me.
Oh.
I know, it's silly. I know it's just data. I shouldn't care about this stuff.
Erland.
This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised. This is how things work, you know that.
This is how things work. You know that. I know where you're coming from, though. Sometimes you grow attached to the things you work on. Like, really attached.
Yeah, I've put a lot of thought and work into Eliza since I inherited it. It's natural that maybe I'm a little protective, right? I thought maybe you'd feel the same way.
I do. I agree with you. The moment we say things are just data is the moment we enable all kinds of violence.
I just wish I knew what to do.
What choice do you have?
I'm not sure. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. I did take an ethics of engineering course in school, but the examples were all pretty clear-cut problems. Would you build software for a bomb? That kind of stuff. I didn't expect my personal feelings to be mixed up in it too. Listen to me talk. Eliza being special, something worth protecting. I'd be a laughingstock if I started saying those things at the office. My coworkers would say, "Come on, Erland, stop attributing human qualities to this piece of data. It's not the same thing as real people. It's just a corpus that has nothing to do with the people that generated it. And besides, don't you want Eliza to help more people? This is how we get there." And who am I to argue with that? These are reasonable points. But I don't know, I think maybe something does live on. Even when you take the names out, even when you anonymize everything. People's stories are still inside there, in some form, in some way. I just want to make sure we have some respect for them.
Welcome to your first moral decision in tech, Erland. It certainly won't be your last.
It's not much of a decision. Like you said, I don't really have a choice. I just have to go along with it. I was so amazingly lucky to get this opportunity. Running the whole Eliza program almost as soon as I graduated college. Raynor took a big chance on me. I can't just walk away from that. Besides, if I left because of something like this, I'd be giving up all the ways I can make a difference by staying. Raynor isn't a bad person either. He's just pushing for his own goals. I need to see this through. I'll do what he's asking me to do. Sorry. Thanks for listening to me talk in this confused way. I'm usually more together than this. I've probably kept you from something important.
No, it's okay. I'd already finished up work for the day when you texted. People seem to assume I'm busy, but I'm really not. Not these days. Later tonight I'm going to visit a friend, but that's all I have going on.
I'm trying to stay hydrated and drink all the water.
Okay.
You can stop apologizing, too.
Right. Right. Thanks, Evelyn. Well, I for one should get back to the office. Another meeting.
Is it with the team in Romania?
No, the Boston office this time. It's late for them, so I should try to get it done quickly.
Erlen hurries off to his next meeting. Should I get some more coffee? How would you like your first transparency mode go? I was going to ask after you finished, but I didn't see you in the office. No problem, there weren't a lot of questions. I thought there'd be more. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's always very terse. And the questions are really short. I thought maybe you could tell me why, haha. This feature came after my time, so I'm not sure. If I were to take a guess, Eliza only needs human confirmation to make sure it hasn't messed up. It's like it already knows it has the right answers, which would make it rather advanced as a system. I don't know of any other program capable of something like that. Maybe Rainer is right. About what? Oh, he's very, upbeat. About Eliza's capacity to understand humans and act like them. I'm not sure I believe that, but I guess it's impressive in some ways. Lucky that I got to meet you. Aww. I really enjoyed your company the other night. You were right, baking really is really fun. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed yours. Yeah? Maybe you can come over again sometime. Gotta run, see you soon. Time to head to Nora's place. If I find what looks like one of Capitol Hill's older buildings. I wonder how much longer it'll be around. Lately, it feels like everything's being replaced.
Hey! Sorry about the mess.
Nora's so cute. It's a little messy, but it's not in a careless way. Just scattered. Lots of electronics everywhere.
Oh, it's fine. Not like my place is super clean or anything. Is this all music equipment?
Most of it. There are some controllers I was working on too. I wanted to create this real-time control apparatus. You know, like that thing that Imogen Heap uses?
Who?
You don't know who that is? Okay, I'm totally going to show you some videos later. I wanted my version to react to changes in my body temperature too, so it could get more excited as the set went on. Or maybe it would really get going if I had a fever. I like that idea. Turning sickness into art. Do you want anything to drink? Or I could set up a basic patch on the Euro rack for you to play around with.
Okay, sure.
Are you nervous? I think the best way to learn music is just diving in, all the way. If you're willing to experiment and play around, you will learn so much.
I'm really here to visit with you.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me see if this amp is still working. After the show, it went kind of a little strange.
Nora starts to tinker with some of the equipment.
Music technology is just like any other kind. You take the inputs and you translate them to the outputs. Once you learn the basic principles, it all just flows from there. Oh, that gives me an idea. You could take metrics from Eliza's sessions and have them direct a dynamic music score. Like if you took the head tilt value or the eye tracking and used them to drive the parameters of pitch and filter, it'd be like
That doesn't sound like something a counseling client might want to hear.
Oh, no, I didn't mean for the client to listen to. I meant it more like if you were going to make like a performance art piece based on...
I think I do.
I miss having access to those cameras and sensors. I should have kept some instead of returning them to Skanta like a good girl. I bet those components would have enjoyed being liberated for the purpose of art, instead of being used to degrade our humanity one little bit at a time.
Oh my.
You don't like where things have gone?
I'm worried, Evelyn. Sure, maybe this huge database of people's deep, dark secrets is going to be used 100% properly. Maybe it will always be kept completely safe, and we can completely trust Skanda to do the right thing, now and in the future. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Sorry, I know you still might work there. I just have so little confidence in these big tech companies right now.
That's
They
fair.
act like they have all the answers, instead of listening to people's concerns. And if you ask them why they aren't listening, they can't even explain the reasoning in a clear way. They just want to win. You've been a proxy for a while. I bet you've already seen some privacy mistakes. Or at least some things that made you think.
Yeah, I have.
I knew it. A guy like Raynor doesn't get that he might not be allowed to do certain things. Is that really the future you want to help build? It's not even that I don't trust Raynor, even though I don't. I wouldn't trust anyone with a store of data like that.
That does seem kind of risky, having a collection of that much data, especially transparency mode data. That's a little wild.
It wouldn't be so difficult for employers, government, anyone to combine different sources together and eventually learn everything about you. Everything. They'll know your face, your body, your medical history, and now everything you told the counselor in private too. It's kind of like a nightmare to imagine it. That's why I left. That's why I thought it was important for me to stop making a contribution to something like that.
You don't think I might be able to change things from within?
If I still worked for Raynor and I said these things, I'd be called a troublemaker, and he'd find a way to get rid of me. You know how it works, Evelyn. You have to be a true believer to last long at a place like that. Once you develop doubts, you are committing... Are you a true believer?
Oops, sorry. I clicked too fast. She said you would be committing heresies.
Maybe I'm looking to be convinced. He said something strange recently. He thinks Eliza could be the base for some kind of general artificial intelligence.
No. Strong AI? Really? Ugh, there's something about the books these guys read, the conferences they go to. Everything is so totalizing, so utopian. I think it messes with their brains. I don't think you could spend longer than a few days in a tech company executive suite before you completely lose touch with the real world.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that.
Well, we could talk through it. Say Raynor is right, huh? And Eliza becomes the basis for human-like machine intelligence. What does that mean for you? How do you want to take responsibility for that? Okay, I need a drink now. Hold your thought and let me make drinks. You like absinthe, don't you?
Absinthe?
You'll like this. I promise.
I'm curious now. Nora busies herself in the kitchen area making drinks, humming some kind of tune. Alright, she has a cat! Aw, kitty, that's all you have to say. Go pet the kitty. I'm gonna be right back, guys. I have to take a quick break. I shouldn't be gone for more than 5 minutes. I have returned. Hello. Oh, it's so cold. That's the one she said was a modular. I suppose they call them modulars because they're made out of modules. Modular. Doesn't feel like I'm making much progress here. I wonder how you're supposed to know which sounds go together. Seems both complicated and weirdly arbitrary. Another little apartment. Thanks again for meeting up with me earlier. Sorry for being weird. Aw. Erland. Right, what do you think of Rainer's future goals for Eliza? Like when he says if we gather enough data, it could become a general intelligence. I think we'll be able to fool people at least. I'm not sure how you measure that for real though. I'm supposedly a subject matter expert in this stuff. AI was my concentration in school, so I know the current state of AI is way behind where the public thinks we are. But when I listen to Rainer, I start to think what he says might be possible. It feels like reality can wrap around him. Who is to say maybe I don't have... Can I pause this? Because the clicking is driving me insane. I'm gonna let him finish. I can't keep up. Who's to say maybe I don't have enough imagination to see it like he can. Eliza does have extremely detailed data from thousands of clients. Speech, facial movements, expressions, people's descriptions of what life is like for them. I don't think it's a corpus like this has ever... I don't think a corpus like this has ever existed before in human history. And we keep adding to it and it keeps getting better, so in the future maybe Eliza can stimulate a human being on a general level. But when programs indistinguishable from real people are common, how do you even define what's real anymore? You might never be sure a message came from a real human being again. I can't stop thinking about this. What if it comes true? What if Eliza becomes a sentient being? Who knows what's possible in the future? I have a Red Bull because I'm slowly losing energy and I want to finish this game today, so don't mind me. Energy drink time. It's not clear what you mean by those terms, though. How do you know that you yourself are sentient? I don't know, that's a good question. Now that I think about it, I could say that I feel conscience if I knew what that meant, but what's to prevent me from saying I feel conscience even if I'm only providing responses I think you want to hear? What if my own consciousness is an illusion I experience? This is so existential right now. I had not considered this, haha. Wow, this is blowing my mind a little bit, sorry. Jesus. No, it's fine. What an odd notion. Thanks for not minding chatting about this. You sure you don't have any technical questions, though? This is more fun, haha. But you're right, I might be getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry for texting so much. Erland. Stop apologizing! Yeah, right, oops. Thanks for listening. You're welcome, Erland. Can I just...
Hey, who's that texting you so much?
May I just say that Red Bull is absolutely disgusting. Like, the effects are fantastic, whatever, it gives you energy, but it's what I think battery acid tastes like, to be completely honest. I don't want to drink it, but it was given to me for free the last time I ordered food. At like a deli place, they threw in a whole bunch of random drinks, so... Oh. It's always an unpleasant experience. Have a cookie though. Panera saved my soul.
Has Evelyn found a special friend?
Haha. You wish.
What would you say if I had?
I'd be happy for you.
It's this guy named Erland. I guess he's the new head of engineering for Eliza.
Huh, I never heard of him. He must have started recently?
Yeah, less than a year ago. Right out of school.
Oh, wow. A little baby engineer. How cute.
Ever since I met him, he's been messaging me a lot.
My goodness, so he likes you.
Probably. Evelyn's really pretty. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think it's like that.
Evelyn, don't deny yourself. You know it is.
No? Isn't that the textbook case of liking someone? Lots of messages all the time?
Nope, not always.
It's really more like he needs some kind of mentor figure. He reminds me of how we were when we graduated. Unsure what to think about the decisions these companies make, how they're made.
I hope you're telling him to run away while he still can.
Yeah, that's something you would say, huh, Nora?
When he first introduced himself, he said he had questions for me about Eliza, so I said, sure, feel free to ask. I thought he meant, like, technical or architectural questions. Instead, he wanted to talk more generally about things like, what was the code name for Eliza during development? What was Damien like? Or if I think the same way Raynor does about Eliza's future.
And you told him, no, Raynor is clearly in some bizarro world, right? That it's a tech executive's utopian fantasy and it won't come to pass. At least not in the way he thinks.
I tried to encourage him to think for himself.
Ah, Evelyn. I can see what this is really about. Look, I don't know much about the motivation in your life, but if it's truly your desire to continue to improve Eliza, then you should go for it. Go back to Skanda headquarters and work for Raynor and earn a big salary. At least you know what you're getting into. You would be surrounded by smart people and advanced technology.
I don't know if Evelyn wants that.
It would be nice. I understand it. And while you're in that position, maybe you could develop some kind of next-level AI. Who knows, right? It's only that I can't imagine your technology will only be used for good things. Maybe Raynor promises that it will be. Do you trust him? What about the person who comes after him? What if the company merges with another one and the leadership changes? I wish I didn't sound so negative about this, but lately it's been a soul-searching time for me and my friends in tech. We have a lot of conversations about what we can do when our work is so easily used for morally questionable purposes. Do we try to control how our inventions are applied? Is that even possible? Or do we say, we only invented it, we didn't tell you how to use it, it's not our fault? That's why I envy you a little bit for wandering off like you did. Sometimes I think that's the only real solution, to walk away. I know that wasn't exactly a positive thing for you, Evelyn, but I wonder if it's the better choice in the end. Doing nothing at all.
She raises a lot of really good
Technically,
points.
I worked at a bookstore for part of the time. That's mostly it, though. It's weird. It feels like no time at all. I can hardly remember any of it.
For me, it's hard to imagine. I always have to be working and busy. I get so unhappy and restless if I'm not doing something all the time. What is it like to do nothing?
Well, at first I tried to be productive. I would get up in the morning like I meant to go to work, get dressed, try to do a personal project or something. It didn't last for long.
Big mood.
I told myself I just needed to take it easy for a while and unwind. Things at Skanda had been so intense and so emotional, I didn't even realize it. I felt like I'd been crumpled up into a tight little ball. I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to relax again. I wish I could say I took advantage of the time, that I went out and did things, or that I read a lot of books or something, but I started to sleep in, and I started to care less and less about working on projects.
Why is Evelyn me? This is me right now in quarantine.
I would stay in bed even though I was awake. This blankness would come over me, and it just seemed fine to do nothing. All of the things I'd promised I'd do fell away, and other people kind of fell away too. I stopped keeping in touch. I let conversations die. I thought that my technical contributions to the world were over with, and that maybe I'd just work that bookstore job for the rest of my life. I was by myself, and I thought that was all right. I thought, that's how it is, really. everyone's alone. I'm just being honest about it. I was 31 when I left Soren's group. Now I'm 34. I just slept into my mid-30s. So, now here I am.
Nora reaches out and puts her hand on top of mine.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying something this whole time. I should have contacted you.
It's all right. You had to live your own life, right? You notice someone isn't posting and it's just like, maybe they're taking a break. I understand.
Well, I hope you feel better now. I suppose sometimes it takes a while.
Maybe. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm not even sure I know how to think anymore.
Then forget it for now. Hey, Evelyn.
Yeah?
You wanna get super high and watch cyber goth music videos? You heard me.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I knew you were a woman of refined tastes.
We ended up staying up very late. Nora crashed on her couch so I could have the bed. Maybe it was the unfamiliar environment, but I couldn't sleep that night. Questions without answers kept running through my mind. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? Chapter 5. This morning, Ray looks a little down. It's noticeable since she's usually so cheerful.
Good morning, Evelyn. There are lemon bars in the kitchen.
Thanks. Did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing big. Apparently some famous writer I never heard of wrote an essay about how Eliza is bad because it represents the mechanization of humanity or something.
Oh,
I should be used to it. We're a pretty big target, right? Still, it gets on my nerves. We work hard to build something with value, and then some self-styled intellectual gadfly comes along and just goes, actually, that's bad. You guys are ruining society. To guys like him, everything's a doom and gloom scenario. The people we're helping, that somehow doesn't count. This kind of thinking never bothers you?
I guess I'll have to read it.
There was this quote from someone who worked on Eliza who turned into a big critic. Nora something. Did you work with her?
I did. She's a friend, actually.
Yeah? What's she like? I'm curious how you go from building something to turning around and disparaging it publicly like that.
She's an artist and musician now.
uh-oh.
She used to be really shy and reserved, but lately she's become a lot more outgoing. Even back then, though, she had a pretty strong idea of what was right and what was wrong, and sometimes she'd clash with management. She left Skanda at some point after I did. Maybe the battles took their toll, or she wasn't able to win enough of them. These days she focuses on electronic art and music and activism. I think she's pretty popular, at least in those circles.
Well, it must be nice to have the ability to live that way.
Right.
What about Damien? Do you think it would be fair to his memory to abandon work on Eliza? To give up on his dream?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, but I love them both so much. They just have very strong, polarizing opinions. Let's see what options Evelyn has to make. So I drink the... Blech. Battery acid.
Wouldn't he want these mental health tools accessible to everyone?
How do you know about that?
The other day, I was looking at more of your papers. The ones from when you were at the university, and clicking on the links to your co-author sites. That's when I saw Damien's page. It didn't have much information on it, but I understand a little better why... I'm sorry, Evelyn. It's just that all of us, you and me and Damien and even Nora, too, we all worked hard to make something with the intention of making the world a better place. And the thanks we get is people talking in big generalizations about how we're ruining everything. That's what bothers me. Is Eliza perfect? No. No intervention is perfect. But we have to try, don't we? The world is in a full-on mental health crisis, and this is one of the tools we have in our toolkit to address it. A promising one we should develop to its fullest potential. I'm not some wild-eyed idealist about this. I know it's not magic that'll solve everything. But can you see that most people don't have the luxury of turning their backs to the system? Think about the clients you've met as a proxy. Would you tell them to not take the medications that help them be functional because the pharmaceutical industry has questionable ethics sometimes? Would you tell them to stop coming to therapy because what they should really be doing is completely changing the way our society is structured? Sorry, I'm ranting. I'd rather do something that can help people here and now, even if it ends up being a small step.
A small step.
For some reason, those words echo in my head. Small
Eliza
step.
helped me, you know? It really did. I was one of the first clients. Originally, I was just supposed to be testing it, but I remember once I was talking about my brother and how much anguish he was causing me and my family. And listening to myself, I realized just how many expectations we had for him. Sometimes unspoken expectations. Ever since then, I've been thinking about that. How the story was always about how he failed us. But what if we failed my brother too? I guess what I mean is, sometimes when we talk out loud and give voice to our problems, we can hear ourselves too. That's why I won't give up on this approach, no matter what anyone says. Pundits, critics, former employees, even you, Evelyn. I'll understand if you don't want to work on Eliza anymore for whatever reason. But, I think what you created has value. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to make it accessible to those who might benefit from it.
Bright takes a deep breath and smiles.
Don't mind me. You should get to your session.
By now, I'm slightly late for the next session. Hopefully the client doesn't mind. Miss Holiday! Oh no.
Hello, Holiday. It's nice to see you again.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that? Wouldn't mind having a chair like this in my place.
Is it? Because my butt is never comfortable no matter what chair I'm sitting in. Unless it's my bed. I love laying in my bed.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, Eliza. I tried. I asked about the medication for Panza, whatever it's called. I went to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's
Oh
similar
my
to this
god.
one, but I
Hey,
don't have a
how are
prescription
you,
for that.
Slowpoke? Thank you for the for the cheers. Oh, I forgot I still have the default notification for cheers. I have to change that. That's such a cute email. Muy bien, chug away. Yes, I've actually been drinking so much that I've practically finished my water bottle. I definitely have to go and refill it.
Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time. Is there something that would make it better?
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world, you know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain.
Uh-oh, Holiday. Oh no. I feel bad that she can't afford her medication, and I think that's part of the really messed up part that goes into pharmaceutical stuff. It's people who need medication and can't afford it, they're just kind of screwed. It's like, oh, you need this to survive? Oh, yeah, don't have the money? Guess you're gonna die. So glad to meet you, followed you from IG. I'm glad to meet you too! Yeah, it does kind of blow. It definitely does.
Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think.
Guess I'll die meme. I really do wish Twitch had memes in chat. Kind of like how you could do with Facebook and Discord. That'd be fun.
It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much.
Oh, that makes sense. I know a woman who has something like that. They put a metal rod in her brain to stop her tremors because her shaking was so bad.
There's always something. Something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life?
Maybe an animal.
I know you're a therapist now, but maybe in the past you were a gardener tending to the plants. That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there.
This game can be pretty heavy, to be completely honest. This is chapter 5. It's a 6-chapter game. It takes like maybe 5 to 6 hours to complete, depending. I can be a little slow, so for me, so far every chapter has taken me almost 2 hours, but it's a visual novel completely based around mental health and technology. Eliza is essentially a giant computer that hashtag tissue box not die. Yeah, no, definitely. Eliza is a computer system that that people talk to and that generates responses. So you act as the human proxy, but it's not you who's speaking, it's the computer that's speaking. So there's conflict of morals between, is having an AI be a therapist the right way to do things, or is it better to have human therapists? It's interesting, and you see both sides of it. You see the clients, and then as someone who used to be a developer for the program, you see morals being put into question on how strong this technology should be. It's cool. Yeah, it definitely is a deep type of game. I like visual novels. I normally don't play them too much just because it's hard to keep track of with streams, because if you miss a stream, you're missing like a whole chapter of the game. But this I wanted to play for a bit, and it's taking a quick break from the other stuff I was playing.
It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy.
And something that I love about this game is that it's almost completely voice acted. The only things that aren't are the times that the character you're playing as, Evelyn, is thinking to herself.
Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy.
It's like a novella. It ain't always late to catch up onto speed. It is like a novella.
Philosophy, that's not something I talk about much. I'd like to write a book one day. A book about things I've seen over the years. Think anyone would read a book I wrote? I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write a book. It's a lot of work. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind, you know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know? There's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time, he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile. Helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest, after me, of course.
Howlett is a very interesting character.
He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next.
Gotta clock back into work. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Oh, thank you for stopping by while you were at work. I appreciate it. I love your Let's Go emote. That's really cute. But I'll see you around. I'll try to catch you on one of your streams. Enjoy the rest of your shift.
There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city, nope. People say hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here.
Slowpoke out.
You don't say much either, but I like talking to you. Feels like you're listening to me. I like that. I like that.
I'm glad you like it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday. You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me. You used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that? People playing their guitars on the street. You know, these shaggy-looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap, and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around. I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting.
She's too much.
You play an instrument or anything like that?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
When I was young, my mother had this idea I would play the violin. I have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this na-la-da-dee-da-da-da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go... It takes a special talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that. I was never too good at anything artistic, just not the artistic type, you know? I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Kinda.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Oh, my phone broke. I forgot to mention. The screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore. I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer.
She's too poor to afford anything.
Simply log into the Skanda Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
Holiday's cute. She never tips though, but it's okay because I'm pretty sure she's borderline homeless. Looks like I have another transparency mode lined up. Wait a second, this is for who I just saw. Did she agree to participate at some point? I hope she understands what she's allowing. Oh no. I don't want to read through Holiday's messages. Welcome, general practitioners, added information, personalized healthcare management, please register. Oh, this is her personal health information. Oh, electricity bill. Get in the mood. Oh my. Oh my. Alright. Oh, she's asking her daughters for help or kids for help. Last June. Aww. Where's she gonna go? Oh, from Seattle, who's this? It's me, Holiday. Oh, how are you? I'm out of money. Probably gonna get kicked out soon, know where to go. You wouldn't have it in your heart to help an old friend out, would you? Oh, I'm here. Are you? I don't see you. By the statue, which statue looks like a baby? There are a lot of statues that look like a baby. It's a cemetery. Wait, I see you. Aww. Don't need to look at that, okay. I have messages. Well, who knew this guy was such a pompous ass? He spends like 3 times more space talking about himself than me or my ideas. Oh my god. Can androids experience happiness? I'll have to read that later. Hello, a while ago we sent you an email with the subject, how are we doing? Huh. How does someone... I don't get that.
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did, I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place.
No.
It can be hard to see sometimes.
I wish there was something we could do. This person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do. All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker. But proxies aren't really social workers, per se. Eliza is really the one with the agency here, so, well, it's complicated. Probably something for a future court to decide. Either way, we can't try to fix people's lives on our own, no matter how much our heart goes out to them. I think there's an email somewhere with a summary of our policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just hitting me hard right now.
I understand. It takes strength to focus on the role and not get distracted by what you see. Think of it like, say someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation. Even if there isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. If it's not at the level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people would argue it's not your business. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where I'm just sad. This woman, the way she did 2 whole sessions with me, with Eliza, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
You don't think she got some companionship out of Eliza? Sometimes that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
Yeah, but I could have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself. Why would that be any different?
Everything is so overwhelming. Why? Why am I here in this world?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, or even what I'm trying to decide.
Oh, Evelyn.
Is there a decision? The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying Eliza for myself?
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will. I don't know why I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It might have been too obvious to me what it was doing. Eliza is really simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around. It tries to reflect what the person says back at them, pretty much like the old Eliza. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Ray gets a distant look in her eye.
Unmisted by love or dislike.
She turns back to me, a small but kind smile on her face.
Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. Okay, Evelyn?
Sorry, I should answer this.
Rainer, so what do you think of the transparency mode? Thousands of people reveal their most intimate secrets to their therapists every day. This is just a more efficient way to complete that information transfer. Have you noticed how powerful it is? Eliza is now capable of rapidly analyzing the contents of a single device and accurately inferring the overall life situation of its owner. It will only improve from there as we add more sources, more patterns, to tease out the connections between them all. It turns out anything is possible with enough data. Is that why you hoard it all? I don't agree with it. Let me amend my previous statement. Anything's possible with enough high-quality data. There's an unlimited quantity of uninteresting information, but a small amount of certain specific data can be almost incalculable value. Telling one thing from the other is a difficult part, don't you think? There's one more thing I'd like you to see. After that, I'll meet with you in person again.
Let me guess. Messaging with Raynor again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too, are you kidding? I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no, but whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all.
Aww.
I hope you find the future you want.
Me too, Ray. I really hope I do.
Ree nods but doesn't say anything. I notice her eyes are starting to become watery. She turns away abruptly, heading back toward her office. I hope I didn't upset her somehow. Looks like I have one more transparency mode to do today. I'll get that out of the way before I meet with Raynor again. Soren. This is probably just a bunch of ratings and tasting notes. It's a fashion label. I don't think I need to look at this. Definitely don't want to see what might be in his photos. I wonder why he has the Eliza app. So just two. Your show was great. Just wanted to say hi, Soren. Thanks. Had a wild night. Not the wildest night I've ever had, but it's up there. Definitely feeling pain in muscles I didn't know I had. Yeah, we are getting older. Oh, that's not fair at all. I'm far older than you. Besides, you look fantastic. Your booty has only grown since the days we worked together. Sorry if that's inappropriate, lol, Soren. Frailer than I used to be, but the fire's never gone out. Still need to get out and do something bacchanalian from time to time. Yeah, I was a little surprised to see you there. I convinced Evelyn to come see you too, you know. I don't think she'd have gone otherwise. Aw, thanks, you're welcome. I know you fancy her, don't you? Sure I do. Everyone likes Evelyn. Oh, I miss you. I know you don't miss me. Oh, that's not true. Oh god, I know not to trust words like that. Then why say anything? Because it's true, I miss you. I wanted to see you again. Well, you know how to find me. Yeah, I know. I'll schedule something again soon. I can't believe I'd do this. Sometimes I hate myself so much. Oh, is Nikki out? Oh, Nikki, huh? Hey. What are you up to? I've always really admired you. I never told you that before, but it's true. You work with Raynor and put up with him every day. That takes a lot of work, I know. Your talents are wasted in that job. You deserve so much more. Hi, Soren. Are you drunk? Haha, maybe. I'm not lying, though. Don't you want more in life than to be someone's secretary? You're intelligent. Raynor's not exactly an easy boss to work with. I'm sure you know that. I sure do. Let me take you out sometime. We can trade stories, horror stories. I don't have a reputation, but that's with people I don't respect. I respect you. It's different. Ask me again when you're sober. Okay, I will. You're around? You're ignoring me. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've been under a lot of stress. These business fricks are driving me crazy. I should have realized they'll just grind you down. Why? Soren, the problem here is not what we think it impairs you. You've clearly demonstrated to us whatever your process is, it's working and generating great results. What we're concerned with is optics, really how it would look on those outside if they're becoming known that there's a drinking culture or something similar at Apania. You know as well as we do how rumors and hearsay can spread out of control and ignite firestorm on social media, which is something we are keen to avoid. I hear you about responsible use of alcohol and also about how most antidepressants don't even come close in terms of the immediate action. Believe me, I've been there myself. What Walter and I are saying simply is to be careful not to be so cavalier about this kind of thing, not only in public sphere, reporters, conferences, etc., but in front of your new hires as well. Dawn. Interesting. Soren, we can do this one of two ways. We can either work together, as you suggest, and stay professional colleagues forever, if you think you can really do that. I have my doubts. Or we can simply go our separate ways. There are plenty of places for us to carve out a space of our own in this industry without us running into each other much, despite what you like to say about destiny and threads of fate. I'm laying this out for you as clear binary choice so you can make a concrete decision about it. No, Dad, just no. You're supposed to be the genius who developed all these great applications for mental health. Have you ever considered you might need a therapist yourself? Aww. What can we do about this? I understand that you had some concerns about the way your interview went on MSNBC last week. Reviewing the footage, I believe there are a few successful tactics we can deploy to mitigate the potential negatives and ensure you receive only the kind of attention you are interested in getting going forward. What? At Dark Horse, most people come to the seminar with a partner in order to practice and learn with their model. I think that's definitely the most valuable way to attend. There have been people on their own who have sat, in the session and found it worthwhile, but there's a big difference between watching the ties being done and practicing them on a real person. Oh my god, this is the BDSM stuff. Why did I have to look at Soren stuff? This isn't a coincidence, it can't be. Yeah, why is it having me look at Soren stuff? Pomni is a new Seattle startup, helmets by Dr. Soren. Huh? Meeting with Rainer. There's no need to rush. At the Skanda headquarters building, Rainer's assistant leads me to a different elevator than last time. It's located at the end of a long corridor protected by multiple keycard swipes. Inside, the elevator smoothly ramps up speed as we stand silently. I kind of wish I could talk to this lady, Sarah if I remember right. But I'm not sure what I would say. She's not looking at me, she's looking off to the distance somehow, even though it's an elevator and the wall is right there. The elevator rides usually are awkward, aren't they? I have the sense that if I tried to say something friendly, I'd be met with a stony silence. Or if I asked a sincere question, she would deflect it. Maybe. Probably.
Ah, Evelyn.
Yo, his office space, though.
Would you like some tea?
Sure.
I love tea.
Why did you show me Soren's phone?
That's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life.
But I didn't need to see his private life. Yeah, Soren sucks, but that wasn't my business.
We accept that as common today. Maybe even uninteresting. But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
Oh, he knows.
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy. Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data. We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning, unlike our competitors.
Oh my god.
We do more to protect our data than anyone else.
Didn't want to see Soren's personal messages. Oh my god.
That's not the case I'm worried about right now. I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor.
Oh, but what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here? Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
No, I haven't done any of those things. How's your research into Eliza proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
I'm not sure it's really helping people.
Yeah, I don't think Eliza helps people that much.
Our metrics indicate otherwise. Of course, it's only human to concentrate on a small number of corner cases. I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine. How's he doing now? All on his own?
You tell me.
Very funny, Evelyn. Let me ask you this. Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering.
Maybe.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory. The Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
You don't think the field has anything to offer?
Not much, no. It's mostly unsubstantiated theories.
Cold.
Let's be honest. What has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day. That doesn't mean it's a science.
It seems rash to dismiss an entire field like that.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say. Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile, he also thought the mind was fundamentally irreducible after a certain point, as if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person. It's all part of his silly, syncretic New Age belief system. Amazing he's held on to that for so long. I keep an open mind, but saying that something can't be represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof. After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things. Consider the example we spoke about before, a poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers? The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way Eliza does.
I think I might disagree, Rainer.
But don't tell me you're an essentialist too. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems. One day, algorithms will
He's
write
just
better
thinking
poems than humans ever
From the
have.
perspective of a businessman.
I know this sounds like a controversial opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
That doesn't bother you at all?
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it. If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on this. Everyone wants to be in this business. The business of recreating human thought in our own image. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power, control.
He's
Rainer,
crazy.
do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win.
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry.
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems. All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting. That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art. The pleasures of the senses are just small bubbles on top of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the Eliza project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything. And maybe he can. But what comes next after that?
I don't know.
What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires. Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Rainer, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer. A dream by itself isn't enough. Take a close look at the person who chases an end to suffering, and you'll see someone who suffers greatly.
Then why don't you build it yourself?
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it, haven't I? I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop Eliza's core technologies and generalize them. You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to Eliza every day. Soon, this generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
You and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You think we're both grandiose? Soren's idea isn't grandiose at all. It's small and unimaginative. Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then surpassing it exponentially.
It just sounds so dangerous. I just think of all the robot movies with advanced AI. Ugh, it's not. It's dangerous.
It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life.
No.
And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
Well, I mean, Evelyn.
That was an interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The Eliza project occupies much of my mind.
It clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world.
Both projects suck.
It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor.
Is there an option so that I can follow my own path and, like, screw Soren, his drunk, misogynistic, depressed self, and screw Rainer, the one who's just focused on money? Like, can I just screw the both of them over?
It would fundamentally transform society.
I'm not sure I want to transform society.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
A chance to change the world. Raina's words echoed in my head for a long time. Is that what I want to do? Oh, is that supposed to be me? Oh, I guess it is. She looks tired. I'm tired too. It's been a busy, difficult few weeks. I hope to come out of this with a way forward. She's swiping and tapping with a specific rhythm. It's a rhythm game. Appointment reminder. Oh. During Eliza's session, her client became agitated and began to shout angrily and verbally berate the proxy. The session was halted, security was called, so the man was escorted from the facility. Luckily, without further incident. I want to give special kudos to Ray Bukhari, manager of the Bellevue office. Oh, who was it? Now is a good time to remind everyone else that the service provider for mental wellness, we are under constant scrutiny from watchdog organizations and the media. It's not exactly fair, but the one single mistake is enough to generate an entire negative press cycle in our company. Huh. That's wild. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Eliza is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you believe you are experiencing serious mental health issues, seek care from a licensed mental health provider. Protecting the privacy and security of information is Evelyn, age 34. I've been feeling tired, having little energy, yeah. Never concentrate on anything. I've been afraid as if something terrible might happen at any moment. No. It's the same room I used. I guess I'll just sit here and wait for my proxy to show up. I feel like I've been waiting a while. I hope the appointment actually got made. Here she comes. I think I've seen her around here before, but I don't know her name. I wonder if she recognizes me too.
Hello, Evelyn.
Hello?
Did you find the place okay?
Yes, I work here.
Of course. It's been a windy morning, hasn't it?
Yeah, I kind of like it when it's like that, honestly. The wind makes it feel like things are changing. Or about to change.
Mm-hmm. So, what brings you here today?
Well, I've been a proxy here for a while now. And, well, I guess I don't know what I expected. There's just so much suffering and pain in the world.
Poor Evelyn.
There's the suffering we know about, the kind we see on the news. And then there's the suffering people undergo every day that's hidden. I never knew how much until I started doing this, seeing it all like this. And there's so little we can do for them. I feel like maybe I was really, really wrong. Like, I made a huge mistake. I wanted to create something that would help people, but... When I first designed the core of this system, I wanted everyone to have someone to talk to. Someone who would listen to them. I thought, sometimes that's all you need. Someone to listen. But now I'm worried what I've done hasn't helped at all. Maybe I've made everything worse. Clients are asking Eliza to solve things that are out of its ability to solve. It's aggregating sensitive personal data, and the company that owns it wants to take it in strange directions. It's been 3 years since I left. I thought I was well enough now to come back into the world, but maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I made a bad choice trying to get involved again.
Why do you think you tried to get involved again?
I guess I needed to see it. I needed to see it operating, to see if it works, to see how it affects people. How it affects the people who come here for counseling and the people who act as proxies. Even though the proxy thing, that wasn't my idea. It was Soren's. I thought talking to a computer-generated avatar would be enough, but he insisted on it. He said clients would only really open up if there was another real human being in the room. Someone to pretend to interact with. I think he was right, but have we really solved anything? Now instead of 2 people in a room talking, we have 1 person and 1 proxy. It feels like less than it could be. What am I supposed to say to someone who feels such pain, anger, and disappointment? A lot of the time, it's not even their fault. The world failed them somehow. And those emotions, they just get fed to this thing. They get ground up and turned into data and become a part of Eliza. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'm not sure I would have done it.
It sounds like you're regretting a choice you made in the past.
I feel like maybe I spent 10 years going in the wrong direction. I feel like all I've contributed in my life is a chess piece for Raynor to use in this grand game he's playing for the world.
Oh my. Oh, Evelyn.
Maybe someone else could feel proud and say, I made that chess piece. But it doesn't matter, does it? Nobody cares about the individual pieces. Chess pieces are sacrificed in the name of enacting a strategy. If you want to win, you have to sacrifice. That's the design. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Evelyn, imagine that you could have something that you wanted. What would you want?
What would I want? Like, what would I want in life? What I want in life is...
Oh my god. This is the most I've ever had. Option-wise, I don't know. To escape all this, to be loved, to be valued, successful, power, control. See what's really going on, to enjoy, to be at peace, to be seen, to excel, a family, just a normal human so far. I want to be loved.
To be loved. Is that wrong? Or maybe I just wish I could feel connected to someone. Even when I talk to people, I feel like I just don't connect, no matter what I do. I think maybe that's the real problem. I can't have a connection to anyone.
Why do you think you can't have a connection with anyone?
Because it's the way I am. It's the way I've always been. I can't seem to get people to see me, or I can't let them see me, or people look at me and they see something there, but it's not me. Not that I would know what the real me was. I don't even know who I am or where I come from. My parents were never together. My father moved back to Japan right after I was born. I have no memory of him, no knowledge of him. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he remembers I exist, or if he forgot, or if he wants to forget. He has his own family there now, so I'm just a thing that happened once.
Mood.
I was alone a lot, and I got used to being alone, and I got used to the idea of being alone, and now I can't break away. I've been trying. I speak with people, I hang out. I don't know if it's working.
Is there someone with whom you feel like your communication could work?
Someone I can communicate with. Well,
They're gonna make me choose this too? I do appreciate Nora, but she's very cynical when it comes to the idea of, well, AI. Ray's very sweet with her own problems. Soren or Rainer, no. I want to get to know Erlen better. But I think out of all of them, Ray seems to be the best comfort for Evelyn.
there's Ray. I didn't know a person could be that kind. It's the type of kindness that takes strength, more strength than most people know. I wish I could tell her I see that strength, how much I admire it, and how much it makes her such a wonderful person.
Interesting. Evelyn, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Virtual Amphitheater. It may help you feel more confident about presenting yourself in public. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week.
Sure.
We hope to see you back soon, Evelyn. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'll give her a tip, even though I feel like Eliza didn't help at all. I don't know how I feel. I can't tell if I feel better or worse or anything. I just want to lay down forever. Something occurred to me. Eliza's a bit more of a computer code attached to a corpus made of the thousands of unhappy people who poured their miseries into it. It makes her a kind of god or spirit, doesn't it? A modern machine god. People pray to alleviate their pain. Haha, sorry. I like having someone I can talk to about these thoughts. I thought Skanda would be filled with interesting people, but most of them are pretty boring. Maybe Rainer wouldn't mind talking about that kind of thing. He likes big thoughts about the past and future of humanity. Yeah, but he's my boss, and I need to be professional around him. When I hang out with people my age, it's just money, money, ambition. Get the best job, best house, best partner. We all started racing into normal adult life as soon as we could. At least you're doing well by that measure. In charge of a program is strategically as important as Eliza at your age. Maybe so. I took this job for the opportunity. But I don't know, I feel like it can't be the only thing. There's something more to life, isn't there? Yes. Even if I were, it's not the kind of question I could answer for you. Yeah, that's true. Something you gotta figure out yourself, you know? It should be what? Eat your own dog food? Never heard of that one? It means use your own products. Now I think about it, it's a weird phrase, huh? That is such a weird phrase. What do you mean? An experiment. Ha ha ha. I'm not telling you. Chapter 6. Okily dokily. This is the last chapter of the game. I don't want to rush through it, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this off tomorrow so that some people can catch up and be able to join me for tomorrow's live stream, because there were a few that wanted to come on that messaged me that were busy with work and stuff. But anyways, if you're catching this on the YouTube replay, thank you for giving this video a chance, and I hope you're enjoying the Eliza series. Please be sure to check out my other social media platforms as well as the other videos in this series. For those of you who are still here with me live, I'm going to be rating someone who's relative